Hello my darling, it's Chanel and today we are doing something. My leg's dead. Oh god, I've got to get that out. I am doing a mood reading vlog, so I'm just reading whatever I feel like, whatever's on hand. With my mood reading, I'd say half of it is mood reading and half of it is whatever has come in right now at the library. So with the new releases, I have to read them as they come. I've got 3 weeks to kind of pick the right time for them. But otherwise there is a time restraint there, whereas anything that's not a new release I can normally get instantly. So that part is definitely mood right now driven. I apologize if my voice gives out. I've been talking a lot today, but it's stuff that I had to get done today because I'm going on the family holiday today. So my kids and I have one trip a year. We're going just overnight to the Seaside. We're very, very, very excited. It's going to feel so wonderful to have the sand beneath my toes and the ocean air kissing my skin. Oh my God, I can't wait to dive in and be cleansed and just be close to nature. We'll probably also spend a lot of time in the hotel because our bodies need rest too. So play and rest and lots of feasting. We're very excited for room service. It's just such a treat. So I will just be taking my e-reader with me, so as not so the books don't get damaged. So I'll be reading something on that. I have read some books, but before I tell you what I've read, I thought I'll start with my tarot pull. So this is the Cosmic Visions Tarot. It's super psychedelic and universal and full of rainbows. So let's see what prompt I get and I will pick a book based on that. Okay, so the card I pulled is the Two of Wands, and the Two of Wands is a series, so either start a series or finish a series. So let's take a look at my TBR and see what I can do in regards to that. Okay, so here are some options so you can decide with me in real time. You can see me decide in real time. That is too bright. We don't need it that high now. Oh, that's much better. Oh, I should have filmed that the whole time. Much more natural. Anyway, we have Born by Jeff Vandermeer, which is the first in the Born series. That is an option. I have The Empress of Salt and Fortune, which is the first in the Singing Hill cycle by Nevo. Not gonna lie, that is kind of calling my name. There's Station Eternity, The Mid-Solar Murders by Mer Lafferty. The Book of the Unnamed Midwife, The Road to Nowhere by Meg Ellison. It's actually quite a few options. I didn't think there were that many series on here. Moon of the Crusted Snow, the first in the Moon series. Ooh, possibly, because the second in that series was just nominated in the Goodreads Awards and it absolutely piqued my curiosity, but I wanted to read the first book first. I'm feeling like it's Nevo or Wobgashig Rice. Wobgashig Rice. I'm probably not saying that right. Everybody who watches my channel knows I suck at saying author names. There's a lot of series here that aren't out yet. Oh, there's The Last Hour Between Worlds, the first in the Echo Archives by Melissa Caruso. The Songbird and the Heart of Stone, the third in the Crowns of Nyaxia series by Carissa Broadbent. Oh, that's been on my TBR for a while. Oh, okay. So look, I would say it's Songbird and the Heart of Stone, Moon of the Crusted Snow, and The Empress of Salt and Fortune. And what I might do, since this is a mood reading vlog, is I might read the first chapter of all 3 and see which one gets my motor running the most, and that will be the one. So I will do that and let you know which one I ended up selecting. I will tell you about the books that I have read already, and then I will save one of them, the one that's on the e-reader, for the hotel room so that you've got a different background. But the ones that were physical books that I have here, I'm not taking these books with me. I will tell you now. So let's start with this one first. This is Youth Juice by, no, what am I doing? That was for the reading race. Let's start with this one first. This is Life as No One Knows It, The Physics of Life's Emergence by Sarah Imari Walker. I'm going to preface this by saying that this was picked up on the same day I had my mushroom trip. Once I had processed everything and I felt like I needed a break from being in here, I never like to consume media, like anything on tech, whilst I'm still on the shroom day. I like keeping everything analog, baby. So I thought, let's pick up a book. And yeah, I wanted to read about the universe. Okay, I'd just been in it, part of it, expanding with it. So this is what I had on hand. So this is what I read. I think if I'd picked this up at any other time, I would have DNF'd it. This is very, very heavy on the theoretical physics, and it did read like a dry textbook. The first question they ask is, what is life? And I have thus discovered that I prefer to look at life and consciousness through a spiritual and emotional lens rather than a scientific one. If you ask me what is life, I would say an experience. And when I said that I wanted to read more books about Venus, I didn't mean in regards to learning about its phosphine levels. This was a bit too hardcore nerdy for me. Physics is one of those subjects that I do struggle to comprehend, but there have been some authors who have made it accessible for me as a complete plebeian. Unfortunately, this was not one of those books. After reading it, I was still left confused. It's not conclusive, it is theoretical. There was one part when she was talking about alien life, and her views are that she believes that more likely that our experience with alien life will be evolving it ourselves in labs rather than an external encounter with alien life. So she believes that's less likely to happen, and it's more likely we're just going to create aliens ourselves. I don't even know, is it considered alien if you're constructing it and evolving it from particles and components and matter that is on Earth? Someone who is more learned than me, let me know. But for me, I just feel like alien means outside of, other than, more external than from Earth. You know, even if, you know, they're not really starting with the primordial soup ingredients, they're still using things that are found here within our atmosphere and our zone, so to speak. But this particular book was not for me, but I would say read it if you really like assembly theory and Legos. The next book I picked up was much more enjoyable and to my particular taste, and that is The Art of Pinup by Diane Hansen, Louis K. Meisel and Sarah Jane Bloom. It's by Taschen. So this book, it might look very dense, but the English portion, sorry, this paper thing is annoying, is about, give me a second. Okay, so the English portion is about this much. The rest of it is English and is in German and French. So this is trilingual, which I was not anticipating. I cannot show you all the images in this because it turns out it definitely got naughty bits. There is full frontal art and photography, because a lot of pinup artists actually model their images from real women. So they get models to come and pose nude for them and they turn them into art. I didn't know this was considered art. This is one of my favorite pictures, or one of my favorite paintings. It's called Sultana and I love it, but it is considered a pinup image. So in the beginning, we learn about the history of pinup. It mostly surged to popularity during the World Wars. Pinups were considered good girls, and there were a few renowned artists who did the pinup. It eventually died thanks to magazines like Playboy and the like, because people ended up preferring photography over illustrations. So the beginning of the book is about the pinup history. This has already gone into German. And then the next parts are all based on artists. They focus on a particular artist. So I'll show you each artist's style. So here we have Rolf Armstrong. So it'll talk about Rolf and Rolf's particular style of pinup. And then we have Enoch Boles. So then it talks about Enoch and their life and how they became a pinup artist and their successes. Here we have Peter Dryden. And whilst I did read all of the English parts in this, let's be real here, guys, most of the time we're just coming here for the art because, you know, beautiful, sexy ladies I particularly love this lady here with her doggy. Then we have Gillette Liv Alvgren, who's quite prolific, and I think they were the most successful, or they made the most illustrations. A lot of the imagery you see here was thanks to an independent collector who amassed the largest personal collection and kept it in mint condition. So all the calendars, all of the magazines, and it's because of his collection posthumously that they're able to showcase all of this imagery. Then we have Arthur art from this guy. This guy is probably my least favorite because he's utterly obsessed with women's knickers falling down. Almost all of his images include women clearly who are wearing knickers way too big for them. This is not a common occurrence. This is not something that happens when you're just out and about in life, my friend. But you know, if that gets you going, gets you going. Then we have William Bill Metcalf and his style. Then we have Earl Moran and his style. Like I'm trying to show you the ones that don't include full titty and bush. Then we have Zoe Mozart. So it was mostly male dominated, but there were some lady artists in here doing their thing. So this is her. George Petty V. Oh, that was a bottom, but hopefully bottoms are all right for you guys. And then we have Alberto Vargas, who definitely, I think, has the most sort of nouveau deco style. I'm going to have to edit this out a lot. Every time I turn the page, it's like boobies. So yeah, I'll have to be careful in post-editing. I will say that the majority of the women depicted in here are white. So there's not a lot of cultural representation and diversity in these pin-up pictures. I'm just going to show you some of my other favorite ones. Here's a safe example of a real life model. I love that the female artist did an actual movie poster as well with Jane Russell. I also loved this image of a witch, sexy witch. So I'd say if you like pictures of naked women or women in very form-fitting clothes or lingerie being very coquettish, you know, there's a lot of facial expressions going on, a lot of panties dropping, then this would be for you. I am now going to get the kids some food and then we're on our way. We're leaving, and don't worry, my ex-boyfriend is coming to take care of the kiddies while I'm gone. We're only gone for 24 hours, so it's not a long trip. Hopefully I don't get sick. Like I said, this is either post-shroom or it's start of illness. So I'm hoping it's the former. But otherwise I will enjoy this day. I will enjoy this absolutely beautiful, hot, sunny day and take some footage of the beach and the room and give you my review for this other book that I've read, and I thoroughly enjoyed it, but you'll see that review in a minute. Okay, 2 hours later, we made it. We're all doing it simultaneously. Basically. I can't film while you're filming. I'm going to film the kids' rooms, so they're not in here. So they've got their own beds and their own TV, and that's their view. And then they've got their own little kitchen bar here and their own bathroom. So this is their bathroom. Hello. So this is the lounge room. So we've got a bar, once again, hello, and a writing desk. This is the view. This is the TV and the couch. Once again, and then we're going into my master bedroom. So that's my view. And this is my room. So that's my bed all to myself. And I've got a flat screen TV too, and I've got a wardrobe, but wait for the bathroom, guys. This is what sold me on this place. Can you fucking believe it? Look at this. Oh my God. Absolutely amazing. I will have to remember, I hope they can't see me. I can pee with a view. Oh my goodness. Hello. But yes, I can actually see the ocean from here. What bliss. Hey guys, I've got a balcony. I am going to be eating out here. Oh my God, it goes all the way around. This is amazing. I am so stoked. Oh my God. Look at that. Can you see in? You can see in. People can see me. Oh, I'm gonna make sure I don't put the light on, but anyone with the binoculars could look in. Oh well, free view, and it sits on a golf course. Okay, so I think the only thing that's complimentary from the minibar is this like tea. That's all the same. Earl Grey. Oh, chamomile, peppermint. Is that it? Oh, Ceylon green.
It's actually chamomile.
It's chamomile. Drinking chocolate, sugar, and some chocolate chip cookies. So I will be teeing up. Okay, the outdoor playground area. There is a trampoline and a playground. Okay, I'm filming in the bathroom because the kids are in the other rooms and I'm aware that it echoes. So hopefully I can fix this in editing, but otherwise I'll just film this one time here. I forgot my iPad, so I don't have my notes. So I didn't make notes for this particular book because I wanted to do it justice, but we're just going to go in from what my memory serves. So this was Monsters by Fennell. The cover is stunning. That's how I saw this book. I was on Google and searching something else, and in the advertisements up the top, this was featured, and I'm like, what's that? What's this book? It turns out Fennell is the writer and director for Saltburn, it's the movie about a woman. I'll put them up on the screen. And this book is marketed as YA, but it feels very adult, even though the protagonists are both 12 years old. So you have a Vlad the Impaler orphaned fangirl who befriends a sociopathic boy named Miles, and together they team up to solve a spate of murders in their sleepy seaside town. Women are turning up on the rocks with stones in their mouths, and the locals are very superstitious. There's a town crazy man who is saying that the sirens are washing up, and the kids are trying to figure out who did it. This book starts off with dark humor and then it just gets plain dark. It is thoroughly disturbing and uncomfortable and horrific. Especially, there was originally a vibe of The Famous Five, but then when you're having children as the main characters to whom these things are occurring, it makes it even more horrific than if it was adults in this book. I thought the writing was fantastic. The characters were excellent. They are diverse, and my God, did I want to strangle a lot of them. My heart did go out for our unnamed main character. Yeah, she's a little Wednesday Addams and a little kooky. The book opens up. Oh, I have the book. I can read the opening line to you. The opening line is, "My parents got smushed to death in a boating accident when I was 9. Don't worry, I'm not that sad about it." Our main girl splits her time between her granny, who has a severe phobia of car fumes, and then she spends the summers with her aunt and her being awful uncle. And I laughed when she said that there is a guest at the hotel because her uncle runs a hotel, and her name is Jean, and she doesn't like Jean. And she says, "Jean doesn't approve of 12-year-old girls drinking coffee, but truly, Jean can get fucked." So like I said, I found myself laughing, and then I found myself aghast and clutching my pearls. This was a phenomenal horror. Unfortunately, the little girl finds herself being abused by her uncle and her friend, her 12-year-old friend, Miles, and she's eventually going to have to become a monster if she's to escape the harm the monsters are inflicting upon her. Obviously, we don't see that. The story ends well, she just turns 13. The setting was fantastic. I felt like I was there. The mystery element was also interesting. I did want to find out who is killing these girls. I will say though that it culminated very quickly. It wrapped up very quickly right at the end, where everything was revealed at once. And I probably would have liked it to be done a little differently. It was fucking awful. Like I said, I feel for her. I feel for her so badly. She has no one. She's so alone and so in danger. I just don't think things are going to turn out well for her. I will also say that I could see the origins of the author's fascination with slurping odd things up from odd places. There was a touch of that in here. It's so interesting to watch movies and then to see how the author translates things on screen compared to in her books. This didn't feel like it was reading like a film, it felt like an actual book. I know I haven't done this review justice. Like I said, I wrote so many notes down so that I could give you a very nuanced review. Something was bound to be forgotten, and it was my iPad with all my notes, and oh well, what can you do? But if this would have been a 5-star read for me if I was more tolerant of child and animal abuse, but you guys know those are my triggers, and they are definitely in here. Check all the trigger warnings for this book. It is a horror book. It did make sense for the story, but my God, it was eviscerating to read. It was repulsive to read. It was harrowing to read. So, but this is still a very highly rated book. I did absolutely eat it up. I devoured it, and I want more. I want this author to write more stories. I think obviously she's just segued completely into screenwriting and directing and filming. Is probably not writing any more novels, but fantastic. Great horror. I can't even tell you that I liked any of the characters, even the girl. She's not, God bless her, but she's not likable. And yet you have so much empathy for her in this and for her aunt. And it's hard to see a way out. But yeah, that was Monsters by Emerald Fennell. I'm now going to read a chapter of each of the other books, and I'll let you know which one I pick. The hotel is absolutely stunning. It is beautiful. Our plan is that we're going to quickly eat because we are hungry, and then we're going to go to the gym because there are machines there, and I would very much like to use machines. I didn't bring my gloves, so I'm going to get so calloused up, but oh well. The kids are excited to use like the stepping machines and the bikes and the treadmill, so we're just going to go have a mini workout session, and then we're going to head to the beach because it's summer. The sun doesn't set until 9 p.m. and my ex-boyfriend said that he's actually coming down this way after he feeds my cats in the morning. He's heading down to go surf, so we might meet up with him again tomorrow after we've checked out. How much does it suck that you can only check in until 2 p.m. and then you have to check out at 10 a.m. so you don't even get 24 hours. It does suck, but we're just trying to make the most of it, and I will see you soon once I've picked a book. I was going to say, read it if you like a much, much grimmer and darker series of unfortunate events, Pushing Daisies and Wednesday Addams. Hello, hello, hello. So I have just read Empress of Salt and Fortune. So with this series, I started it out of number because I was doing an up next reading vlog, and the book that it chose was later on in the series, and I had heard that they could be read standalone, but it opens up with two characters, Cleric Chi and Almost Brilliance, their companion, and I'm like, I know those people. They're from later on, so I know them. The first chapter is a bit nothing, honestly. There's not much in terms of plot foundation work. It's, I guess, you're just getting to know the characters, and a little bit of the world building is very vague and ambiguous, and all that's happened is Cleric Chi and Almost Brilliant have come to some grandmother's house and they're staying there for the evening. It's not a great first chapter, so I don't think that's going to be the one I'm going to read. Nevo's writing also is a little, it's dense and other. It takes a while to get yourself situated in the world building and the language of it, so I don't have the mind space for that. I'm on holidays, so I'm going to go on to, what one was next? Let me have a looky-loo. I'm just digesting my food, and then we're going to go work out. I don't even know what I borrowed onto here before I left the house. Maybe I didn't even get everything. Well, Station Eternity is here. The Book of the Unnamed Midwife is here. I don't think those were the ones I wanted to read though. Oh, Moon of the Crusted Snow and Songbird and the Heart of Stone. I did. Good job, Chanel. You did me good besides forgetting the iPad. Okay, so I'm going to go on to Moon of the Crusted Snow next. I'll read you the first line since I'm right here. Oh, this is a short book. A crack echoed through the boreal landscape, a momentary chaos in the still afternoon air. Okay, so I just read the first chapter and we're just getting acquainted with the main character, Evan. He has just killed a moose so that he has meat for his family and his community for the upcoming winter. So he is a hunter. He was performing a lot of what I'm assuming his particular indigenous rituals and prayers. So he's very much trying to hold on to his culture and their practices. It was good writing. Not thoroughly invested. It wasn't a very gripping first chapter. Like I said, it was just him hunting a moose and going home to his wife and just thinking about the upcoming winter and the preparations he needs to make and his cultural identity. But I'm leaning towards that one more than Nevo's at the moment, but we'll see if some romantasy will take the lead. The opening line for this is the tale of how a chosen one falls." Ding, 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 ding. We have a winner. This suckered me in. I guess I'm just in the mood for fantasy. So it opens up it opens up with a woman and her 8-year-old sister, and they're with priests, and supposedly the god is going to choose a new chosen one. And the older sister thinks it's going to be her. She's prepared her whole life for it. But it ends up being her 8-year-old little sister. So she starts screaming. She's saying no. And the priests go to grab the child. And the child sees the sun god in this case. And the sun god says, "Reach out your hand, I see you." And when she does so, poof, she has flame magic. And everyone is shocked and awed. And the sun god is blasé about it all. He's got many chosen ones and he doesn't think anything of it. But this chosen one is going to fall, and she's going to bring the whole world down with her. So it was just well done. It was a very enticing first chapter, and I think that's what I'm in the mood for. I need something that's a bit faster paced, has more action and excitement, because I've been reading nonfiction mostly, which lacked that. And because I just read a horror, maybe I'm not so much in the mood for a thriller, and my brain is on holiday mode. So I already know this world, and I've been putting this third one off because of other people's reviews. People have not been enjoying it, so it kind of turned me off, which I know I shouldn't take anybody else's opinions into consideration that much, especially since I enjoyed the first two. But yes, that's what I'm going with. The songbird one, I always forget the name. The names for this series just don't stick in my mind. So I'll be reading that while I'm here, and then when I go home, I'll probably pick up another one of my physical library books. I was reading the Void short stories one, and I read 2 of the short stories, and they were pretty good. I go in with like 0 expectations for short story collections because I just haven't had much luck with them. There's such a because there's so many, and you might have one 5-star one and one 3-star one, but then the rest are all 2, 2, 2, 2, and it just drags the whole thing down. It's very hard to continually grasp the same reader with multiple different stories, you know. So it's a hard thing, short stories, to do, to wow someone for the entirety of the novel with every story that is in it. But yes, I'm going to read that. I'm about to get changed. I'm taking a break now, getting changed, going to go work out, and then we're going to hit the beach, and then we're going to come back for room service, and I'll read. room service. We've got mac and cheese, olives, and 2 desserts. And then over here, we've got chips, gnocchi, bread, and salad. Good morning, guys. So yesterday we ended up staying at the beach quite late. So by the time we got home, showered, ate room service, did our face masks and went to bed. It was past midnight and I woke up at 4 a.m. I think I'm definitely fighting something off. This isn't just post-shroom fatigue, but I think I will be victorious. I don't think it's going to get me. Those could be my famous last words. But yes, I am definitely feeling very under the weather, despite the glorious weather. But being awake at 4 a.m. did have its perks. I meditated, I watched some YouTube, and I read, and then I got to witness one of the most beautiful sunrises I have ever seen. So despite the fatigue, I am very well. I have read 50 pages of the Songbird. I'm just going to call it Songbird, it's easier for me. So I've just found out that the main character, the chosen girl, she is Misha, who is a character from the previous 2 books, and Misha has been captured by the enemy and was going to be dismembered. That's what the princess of this court demanded, but the prince, the Dark Prince, petitioned for her life because he needs her to complete a quest given to him by the mother Nyaxia. So we have Misha, who is a dawn drinker and has scars from using her sun power as a vampire. She has been turned, so she's now a vampire. She still has her sun god gift, but it causes her pain. And the Dark Prince, Asa, has scars on his face. He is the Wraith Warden, so we don't know how he's gotten his cool scars, but they're a matching pair, I guess. They're a scarred duo. So she is going on a quest with him to, I think, the god's prison, something of that vein. But so far so good. I'm in the mood for a romantasy, so it's doing the job. We'll see how it progresses. We are going to go and get breakfast downstairs, and then we're going to go to the beach, catch up with my ex-boyfriend who's going to be surfing, and then go home. Hopefully we're not staying there long. I don't have the battery. I do absolutely need to watch myself because I'm on the precipice of illness. So it has been a really lovely stay here. I will definitely come back to this hotel in the future, but I will see you guys once I have finished a book. Hello, my darlings. I just did my monthly wrap up. This dress, are you ready? This is why I don't wear long sleeve, light colored things. I sweat. I wear deodorant, but I don't wear antiperspirant. And so in summer, I will be sweating. And I'm like, this is a look, but I don't really care that much, to be honest with you. I still smell good, and that's what matters. But I am going out to dinner with my cousin Phoebe, and that's Bluebell, and her sister Ruby, who is back from the UK just for a quick itty bitty visit. So the girls and I are all going out and about. Besides that, I am almost well again. I didn't get completely sick. I just stayed in that limbo, feeling really run down and under the weather for a while, but last night I finally got some really good rest and I'm starting to feel a little bit better. So I'm hoping I'm out of the danger zone now and can resume my regular activities. But I have read some more of the Songbird. So It's giving Hades and Persephone vibes. They've now gone into the underworld. We're repeatedly told, or bashed over the head rather, with the fact that it's not great for a vampire to wield sun magic, and yet she still does, because she's got that religious brainwashing going on, and that codependent relationship with her sun god, whom she just wants to win their approval and their forgiveness and gain redemption in their eyes. But we're at the point now where we're wondering who the real bad guy is, because we've just found out what the guy's quest is. His name Aris? I don't remember, but let's just call him Wraith Daddy, because that's what he is. His quest was given to him by Nyaxia, the queen, the mother of the vampires, one of the gods in the pantheon in this book, and she wants to resurrect her dead husband. So her husband was killed by the other gods and had his soul scattered in Dante's levels of Inferno, and it's up to them to retrieve all the parts and resurrect him. However, her sun god, is it Abraxas? Oh my god, I haven't written the names down. He wants her to allow the god to be brought back, because once he's brought back, he'll be vulnerable, he'll be human, and that way the other gods can kill him for good, because they don't want him and Nyaxia to be a power couple and to shake up the status quo. So that's what we're getting at the moment. We've got Wraith Daddy, who's very closed off and stoic and broody, and then Misha, who used to be Sunshine Girl, but since becoming a vampire has had her shine dulled way down low. There are also two other completely superfluous characters thrown in there. I don't know if they're going to serve any purpose at the moment. They just feel completely extraneous and unnecessary, but we shall see what happens. I'm still into it. And I also read another short story from Flowers from the Void. This one was about a woman who was a witch. She had a lady lover. She lives in the Salem times. She's thinking about joining a coven, but then she gets a visit from her ancestors and her mother, and remembers her name. I like the writing style. The stories aren't really grabbing me. They're all feeling very 3 stars. Even though I'm not giving you my star ratings anymore. It's just feeling very average. So we'll see how we go. I'm hoping there is a story in there that just knocks my socks off. But those will be the last 2 books for this reading vlog. The next one coming up is going to be an art reading vlog, because I'm so excited. I don't know, I'm just absolutely winning the lottery with getting approved for arcs I really, really, really want to read. So you can't even wipe the grin off my face. Seriously. I was very, very happy to get the email saying that I'd been approved for these books. So that will be in the next vlog. But tonight it's dinner. I'll take some footage, and then I will see you guys when I have finished one of the remaining 2 books. I remember the audio. That was really nice. It was chilled. Compared to primary school. Gifts from my cousin, because she's a sweetie. Hey guys, so I have finished Flowers from the Void by Gianni Washington, which is a short story collection of, I would call them horror stories. I would say, so there was some of the other stories that came up. There was a lonely boy who thought he'd found a friend, got more of a friendship than he was hoping for. There was an alien who'd come down to Earth, Sylvie, sorry guys, Sylvie knocked the tripod down, and was eating eyeballs to be able to access the human experience through a memory of the eyeball donor. A puppeteer who helped those with their grief, and literally exes who keep parts of you when they leave. There was more stories than that, but that's just a taste of the other stories that were in here. I would say the main themes in this short story collection were loneliness and wanting to be seen, seeing life through another's eyes and leaving parts of yourself with those you love. Identity, belonging, and connection. The writing style was quite lyrical and eerie and creepy. My favorite story was Go, It Is the Sending, which was about the Black African witch who was trying to join the white Salem coven until she remembered who she was. So that was my favorite story out of them, and probably the least horrific. But I would say the horror in this is more on the mild side, and it is mostly to do with body horror. And there was also a story about a shadow daddy. But not in a sexy way. Okay, this was a mistake propping my tripod up on one of the cat's beds because they are wanting to go on it. I'll have to find another solution in the future. Overall, I found most of the stories pleasant, but there was nothing that really grabbed me, nothing that felt punchy or incredibly memorable. But overall, it was a nice read. It was a fine way to pass the time. I would say read this if you like your shadow and tearing strips off yourself for others. But this was Flowers from the Void by Gianni Washington. Another thing I've decided to change going forward is that I'm going to do my book reviews as I finish the books. Normally I would wait until I was having a going out day where I'll be glamming myself up and then I would record everything at once. But I think for me and my energy levels and my enjoyment and my review quality, I think it's best if I do things piecemeal as they occur rather than trying to batch bulk process everything. So yeah, I think there'll be a bit more casualness to my blogs going forward. But the last book that I'm reading is The Songbird by Carissa Broadbent. And I will probably finish that tonight or tomorrow since the kids just went to their dad's today. And I am going to be staying home because I'm still not fully recovered from whatever it was that was draining my resources and making me feel really under the weather. Obviously, there's just something that I was fighting and it never really took hold, but it kind of held me down a bit. So I'm hoping no kids today and good rest will mean that I finally kicked whatever this is tomorrow, but we'll see. I would like to be able to go out tomorrow to a cafe and things, but then I do have Indy's 10th birthday on Saturday. So I have to have a lot of energy for that. Throwing a birthday party for 10-year-olds. It's a lot. But yes, one of the days that the kids are with their dad for the end of these school holidays, I can't believe they're almost over. It's not long enough. I wish we had more school holidays in the summer, more time to play and just relax and take things leisurely. Alas, it is what it is. But yes, I've got my final few days of me time and I would like to go on an adventure if I can. It was lovely seeing my cousins yesterday. I love them. They're such beautiful girls. And we had a lovely dinner, although the cheesecake was probably one of the worst cheesecakes I've ever eaten in my life. But by eaten, I mean two mouthfuls was all I can take, and then I had to just leave it be. But the rest of it was nice. Hey guys, I'm here to update you on the last book. I did just film my Kinky Corner segment, so I'm a bit wrung out from reading all of those books back to back. But I thought let's just finish off this vlog here as well, since I did end up finishing The Songbird and The Heart of Stone. So the last time I left you guys, Misha and Asa had been separated from the other two superfluous quest teammates. They really were pointless, and I will say that their journey through Morthrin did remind me of Moria in Lord of the Rings. It's got a similar vibe to that, but I can see why some people didn't enjoy this book. The quest becomes very repetitive. It's basically wraiths, run, gate, unlock gate, seal gate, rest. Oh no, wraiths, run, gate, unlock gate, seal gate, rest. Oh no, more wraiths. It's just repetitive. It's just the same thing over and over and over again. And it doesn't matter, how they kill the wraiths this time or how they unlock the gate. It's just not very exciting. Every now and again, a new type of monster, guardian of the pieces of the soul of the god they're trying to resurrect. But yeah, the setting and the action just wasn't interesting, unfortunately. I did forget to mention they also have a loyal doggy who's with them, who's Asar's dog, and you get the backstory of the doggy, and it's very sad, and it did kind of hit me in the feels. But at the same point, I thought, is the dog very necessary for this? I don't feel like the doggy was necessary. There was a lot of reflection about how your past doesn't define your future, and how sometimes the way that you find true acceptance isn't the way you had imagined you would. But yeah, I still enjoyed it and would continue with the series, but the pitfalls of this one was just the way that the plot was driven through this subterranean purgatory wasn't executed in a very entertaining way. The main two characters, Misha and Asar, they lacked chemistry. It wasn't very believable. He was too stoic and closed, and therefore when you finally get to the point where they just ravaged each other, it just felt a bit superficial, you know, a bit sudden, because there wasn't build up to it. And I'd give this an MA rating, so it is described. I guess you could say it's kinky because it involves drinking each other's blood, but they're vampires, so it's not kinky. If this was different, if it was humans that are like cutting each other up and licking each other's blood, that's an R rating. But this one is an MA rating for me. The sex was fine. It was enjoyable. I just didn't believe in the love story, and so therefore I couldn't really get invested in the two of them. And when the ending occurred, I was expecting a cliffhanger. I was expecting a sudden turn of events, which is Carissa Broadbent style, and there was. And it didn't pack the emotional punch I think it was meant to deliver. So this book does feel a bit like a filler book compared to the others in the series thus far. As I said, I will continue on because I am intrigued to see how this will all play out. But yeah, Misha and Asar, they just didn't have the same je ne sais quoi as Rain and what was the other girl's name? Oriah, whom I liked their storyline a bit more than this one. I think the next book in the series is going to continue on with Misha and Asar. And I hope there's just a bit more spice, a bit more sizzle and heat between them, so I can really root for them as a couple, because this one definitely felt like it hinged more on the romantasy element, but that also was lacking. So it sort of lacked the excitement and complexity of the first two in terms of the storyline and the action, and then it also lacked the tension between the two lovers. But let me quickly wrap up all the books that I read this time. Because I'm not giving star ratings anymore, I'm playing around with other ways of wrapping them up. So this time I've decided to give them very specific awards. I know, I'm just playing around. I'll see what sticks and what doesn't. I read Life as No One Knows It, The Physics of Life's Emergence by Sarah Imari Walker. And this wins the award for making life feel like a physics textbook. I then read Flowers from the Void by Gianni Washington, and this wins the award for book with creepy vibes. The Art of Pinup by Diane Hansen, and this wins the award for the cheekiest good girls. The Songbird and the Heart of Stone by Carissa Broadbent. This wins the award for the longest time spent running from wraiths. And then my favorite read of this reading vlog was Monsters by Emerald Fennell, and this wins the award for bleakest seaside holiday. But that was, yeah, definitely the standout read for me this time, and that is everything. Until next time, stay wild, Star Child.